This video is exploring mandolin and the tune called Soldier's Joy and how useful it is to learn a few scales, arpeggios, and we'll explore tab and music so we can get some tips about how relevant it is and how useful it is to get a grip of this sort of thing in the key of D. So a bit of theory in there, but it's all good and it's all worthwhile. So this is the sound of an in-tune mandolin. G, D, A, E. I'll do that again. E, A, D, G. So in this section, many of the music and items discussed will be shown in tab and music form. Tab shows you the strings on the mandolin with the fret. Music shows all sorts of other things, but we have to recognise what the notes are, and also we need to know what the rhythm is to be able to use either tab or music. So here's a mandolin scale. Start on the open D, string 3, no fingers. Finger 1 goes on fret 2, finger 2 goes on fret 4, which I'm going to call D4, and then finger 3 goes on fret 5. So that is on string 3, and then we repeat the same pattern on string 2. Open A2, finger 1, A4, A5. And then down, same pattern. You just have to learn that finger pattern. In terms of notes, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, and then down again. It is so important and useful to learn that finger pattern on each string. When you can play it quickly and fluently, then eventually you can play tunes well, or you can get into improvisation under songs and all sorts of other stuff, which is good fun. So this is an arpeggio sort of pattern of notes for D major. So we start with D, then finger 2 goes on D4, then we have an open A, then we have an A5, which is finger 3, and then back down the same notes again. So D0, D4, A0, A5. Very much worth learning. So if we think of it as the note, D is the root, F sharp, it's actually called a major third, but That's the note. Anyway, F sharp, A0 is A is perfect fifth, and D, which is the octave, which is a D again. So we have a D, the root at the top and at the bottom of the arpeggio. And these notes make up the chord. We won't go down that route too far at the moment, but absolutely very useful. So Soldier's Joy is a good tune to explain the use of arpeggios and scales. The A part of the Soldier's Joy uses much of the D major arpeggio. But it starts on the F sharp, so the notes in a different order. So that's the intro couple of notes. So that section uses notes from the D arpeggio. So if you get your fingers to learn those positions, then it's easy to recognise the groups of notes, whether you're hearing them because you're playing by ear in a jam session, or whether you're reading it off music or tab. Scales are used in the B part of Soldier's Joy quite a lot, so it's worth definitely learning the finger positions for that. So it might sort of go off a scale that would be one single arpeggio, single octave scale, but it sort of extends off the top. Then we have a G natural, which is the E3, so it's second pulled back. So when we're on the D and the A string, so I'll give you, for example, string 3 is D. The spacing or the finger pattern is 2, 4, 5. And then on the A string it's also 2, 4, 5. So open 2, 4, 5. When we get onto the E string, string 1, the spacing changes to 2. So open 2, 3, 5. Reasons for that we won't bother with at the moment, but anyway, if you get used to doing scales, and we can extend the scale to cover the tune a bit more, it's really helpful. And so many of the tunes in the standard Ceilidh jamming repertoire are based on scales and arpeggios. It's very helpful in many different ways to gradually understand these.